Okay, I'm back. You probably don't even notice because I have not been releasing these as I've been doing them, but I am back and this is what I've been doing. There used to be a large mountain island right here, and it is all but removed. As you can see, there are a few animals left. Oh, wait, I forgot to do an intro. Hello, I'm the Carbum, and this is my YouTube world where I'm trying to recreate the island from the game Landstalker. There we go. Hello, YouTubers. Yeah. Anyway, it's been a while since I've done anything on this project outside, like video wise, because I have decided that I wanted to get rid of this. This was all about 5 blocks high on average. Probably closer to 8 blocks high on average, which means this is a lot, and a lot of digging and mining and everything else. I was able to use some beacons. This is still around because it is actually as you can see there's mossy blocks. So you obviously know that this is okay. I ran real fast because there was one time that creeper actually spawned in here. So I couldn't tell for certain right off the bat, and you have to be careful about that type of thing. But yeah, this is a little spawner that I found in the process, and I was using it mostly to keep up my tools. Even with that, I accidentally broke 3 diamond fully enchanted picks, and holy crap, I didn't think that was even possible for me. But no, you just get in the zone and going and it just and yeah. So I am now completely done clearing this out. I think I've gotten rid of all the surface ores that are left. So there will be nothing but stone and dirt and stone variants like that one and this horrible block. This horrible, disgusting block. And a couple of granites are over there, and gravel. And and from this point, which one of these is gravel and which one of these is andesite? We can't tell. Oh, they're both andesite. There's the gravel. Yeah, that's where the gravel was. So stupid that they're so similar. But yeah, first things first. For this, probably going to lose a buttload of torches right there all over the place because yeah, that kind of makes sense because I'm just going to be digging because because at this point I'm going to be removing this path. I'm going to be removing everything around it. It's all going to get flooded up, and that's what we're going to do. So let's get started with that. even care. Just holy crap, this was fun. This island was big enough that I ultimately had to do 6 beacons worth of area. And I was really trying to stretch it. Even seeing that there's only 10 more blocks to go and just bumping in and out of the energy. A lot of freaking space, man. I don't know how the hermits do it all the time. Like they do it for fun, and yeah, it's just. Okay, and here we go. The entire area is now flooded. Scar and Doc would be absolutely proud of me. It's just like, look at this. It's just gone. There is no more island where once one stood. Now, I did have another one, which if you look in I'm pointing with my mini map, there was one over there. But let's look at the size of that. That's about one, like, six maybe of the size. So that one wasn't that big of a deal. But this one, look at the outline on the map. It's huge. Now, this is not a maxed out map. This is one short of maxed out because this is probably going to be the primary map I use for this world, being that it is almost the entirety of this island will nearly fit on this one map tile, which is actually kind of cool. There's an annoyance for the future. There was a guardian all the way from the top right corner. There was a ocean monument over there, and that one was all right to take care of. And then there is now this one, which I believe will be in my build because basically everything from here on up will be in my build. So I'm going to have to clear that out too, just to get rid of the mining fatigue option. I really hope this spawner isn't in the real world of the or in within the borders of the game map, because it will be in the border of the island, but I hope it's not in a playable area. That way I might be able to use this later. Maybe figure out a way to actually use the zombies as a actually use the zombies to do something with. I'm not really a person like that. I could never make a decked out type of thing. But yeah, it's completely flooded now, and I can finally get back to my real task of building. The one good thing about there being this thing here is I now have all of this. Look at all those chests, all filled to the brim with crap. Now, these are just my minor resources, but as you can see with these, we have dirt, grass, stone, cobble, uh, sand, and that, which is not that big of a build thing in the game to begin with, so that's not that big of a deal. And then here's all the miscellaneous stone types, which will mostly be decorative, and I really hate this stuff. Good thing though is that in some spots I actually get to use this stuff, so it has a purpose for once. Because in general, it's just a trash. But this is dirt. This is all dirt, all the way here and all the way over here. I think it's where there's the it. So that's a lot of dirt. The stone, which is right here, actually goes all the way back here and is all the way up here. This is all stone. And so if you want to know how big the island was, this is a good indicator. And this isn't even all of it. Some of it was before I put down this bulkhead to be closer to the island because my goodness, it's just gone now. Holy crap. Uh a lot of it is also, well, not a lot. A small percentage of what is a lot is still over here in the primary village that I started up. Oh, I haven't shown you this place. I haven't talked about this place since I started it. This area is now more or less done, or I've done some improvements. I've made a nice little house here. This is one of the mayor's houses. It kind of works as a house and town hall kind of thing in the game. You're not here for very long, but that's basically what it is. And I did my first interiors to match the game. It appears that I should have probably dropped down one more, or maybe even two more from this to make sure I don't get anything from the above segments. But since you can't see any of the roof when you come in here in the game, it's not off. And their beds are huge. Their beds are literally this plus this. That's how big their beds are. I didn't even notice how big their beds were in the game. But everybody lives in basically a queen size bed. It's amazing. Speaking of beds, boop. But yeah, there's this thing. Oh, yeah. Is that the map I have right now? It is the map I have right now. Nice. But yeah, so that was my first interior. It's actually not quite done because I still have this here. But this is more or less how I am going to try to do this. I'm going to have a water stream going down. I might replace all the. It might be I'm replace those two so that this is a whatever block, and you could just fall down onto that one. Soul sand goes there and whatnot. But I still have to replace this with whatever it needs, and there has to be a couple of pots here, or a couple, yeah, pots, yeah, here and here for flower pots, yeah, here and here, and over here there's some vases, which now we have vases, so I can actually put those in, but now I have to actually go get them. And in the game, there's stagnant vases which don't actually, which you can pick up or can't pick up, and other vases. But this is more storage, of which there is lots more of dirt going all the way over here. But like I said, andesite can actually be used for one because it just happens to match the textures of that perfectly. So I still need to make one more to go there. Do I have? I have andesite on me, right? No, there has to be one in one of these chests. Some of these I've realized that since the interiors of these houses are actually like, let's count the exterior: one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Okay, it's seven. And now let's count the inside of the interiors, counting the invisible corner: one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So the interior and exteriors are, or the interior is about twice as big as the exterior. So in some spots, this little drop shaft right here is going to have to go much, much lower to not run, so the two buildings that are next to each other don't actually hit each other. Like the ones over here, I think will be fine, give or take. But there are buildings over here in Mekator City I have to say city because this entire island is Mechator. Like right here, they're oh, no no, eh. They are literally right next to each other. Right next to each other, which means that I am going to have to probably drop one of these twice as low as the other just so they don't actually interact with one another, which is annoying, of course, but it's unavoidable. I just hope eh, when I get, but I'll get to that when I start doing more interiors and more structures and stuff. Right now, I'm going to be focusing more on the overall landscape of the game. Maybe I could start putting like a little map on the map of how this place looks on the corners at some point in the thing. I don't know how to do that. I am not a professional, as you can obviously tell if you ever watch this. But yeah, massive project. Holy crap. Took a long time to get rid of all that, but it does give me, oh, forgot about this. This is all stone too. There's so much stone. I had to make a special spot just so I can just drop it all off and then continue on with my life. But yeah, this is all stone too. So we have all that stone, and then I made that. It actually wasn't very effective, to be honest. Uh, I ended up just hand putting stone into these chests, anyways. Just like it was kind of pointless, but you can tell that that's a lot of stone. That's a lot of stone. I can't believe I actually mined out that big chunk of an island. There are a few smaller islands, but they're literally just like a blip on the map. Do I have any more? Okay. Okay, so this is the island that I have built so far. There's those guardians there. I'm going to have to make a farm out of those eventually because, oh, this is how I got into the guardian farm or into the guardian place at the beginning. I might be able to hide that later on. Make it a little Easter egg if I ever download this thing to make a world download of this. Obviously, I haven't been here a lot because the dirt has still not completely grassed in. Okay, cool. But this is, but essentially, this is where you start. You actually start. Wait, essentially, that's where you start. But where you really start is actually up here in this area, which I haven't built yet because I didn't want to yet. And then I got because angles and stuff and everything else. And now that that is completely cleared out, I probably should fill out this spot right here and the spot over there. But there are actually some more calculations I need to do on my on the rest of my resources when it comes to building this thing. Hello, little dude, having fun floating. Actually, no, that's not where you actually start. This is just at the beginning of the cutscene. That's right. Well, not the beginning of the cutscene, but this is like in this area here. You fall down off of the waterfall and you get hurt, which is kind of funny because there is no fall damage in the game, and you fall a heck of a lot more later on in the game without taking any damage. You can literally fall forever in one segment, and then when you land, you're just like, "Huh, what was that? Oh, I stopped moving. Okay." Uh, but actually, there is a massive But in reality, there is a big old structure up in this area of where you actually start. There's like a dungeon that you start out in a dungeon when you first land here. Everything else before that is just cutscenes. Uh, I am running out of bread too. So yeah. So there's a dungeon up there. You fall down here. You get hurt. This a villager basically finds you, picks you up, and drags you over to their head place, and that's where your adventure actually begins. Before that, it's just like learning basic mechanics and stuff like that, because that dungeon in the first time you visit, because you end up visiting it again, actually doesn't have any monsters to fight. I mix monsters and mobs, so it sounds like mobsters. Funny. Well, so that's just a little tutorial area to get a hold of the mechanics and being able to figure out how to look around and stuff. It's a good way to start off the game uh, because there's like everything is actually in diagonals. Like you're basically playing like this the entire time, just like looking just sideways more or less, and you have to go in the diagonal to go straight, which is fun. So yeah, and then after you're done dealing with that area, you come over here. At one point, one of the bridges is out, so you have to get somebody so you have to do something before to waste time before they're able to repair it. And then there's this area where there's the first swamp area, and I can take this back because that was a seed block for the grass, so I don't need that to be there anymore. Yeah, I have not spent any time over here at all. I don't even, I know I don't have to wait over here because there's a couple of things I still have to do. Like I still have to build up this village. This village is completely not in yet. And once you start, and this village here actually kidnaps the daughter of the chieftain of that village over there. So you have to go through the uh, the little swamp shrine over there to get it, and that thing's pretty big. And holy crap, it might actually run into there. That's going to be annoying to calculate out later on. But after you free these people from their Patreons, which are a couple of big mean orc characters, you mosey on down here and go into and actually leave the small world, which is right there, and get to your first actual crossroads, which is where we have our starting village over there, and then also goes over to Mekator. But you can't get into Mekator without basically a citizen's pass, which you're given one by these guys. Like I guess Mekator doesn't let you know just anybody come in. Oh, geez. And this is where I actually start my pathing on this side. I didn't know I didn't do the pathing there. This is just a little wheat farm that's not in the game, but I felt like I needed one. So, yeah, I guess I'm doing a world tour so far type of thing because this is that killing an entire island is just ridiculous. Now, this is the other side of the swamp. There's actually a little witch hut over here, there's probably going to be some new kind of thing, like the witch hut is right there, and underneath it is a massive little dungeon. And that's where the first island was. There's nothing left of it to do. Uh, but yeah, come over here. This is where you see your Cyclops for the first time, which is essentially a warden without the ability to scream blast you. You think that'd be a weird thing to have with the warden? You know, a guy that's super sensitive to sound but is able to scream like a freaking psychopath. Yeah, you would think that would hurt himself, you know? And then we run all the way down here and we get back to Mekator. We still have to finish the pathing on this part because that's supposed to be all path, but this is Mekator right here. And this is the first place where I don't double step it because you can see from the outside that is just a straight thing, and so there's no reason that you, because you can see through the gate in the game and see that there is flowers right there, and when you go through the game you can see the flowers, and so there's no way to say like, oh yeah, that's actually like 4 blocks in. No, it's exactly what you see. But here we are. We are back to our Mector storage area, and that is completely gone. And now I have to remember where I am on the map because I don't think I finished out this map tile yet. I think this map tile still has to go on for like another 5 blocks. I'm going to have to check on that, but that's going to be it for the talking portion of this. Um, if I ever figure out how to do time lapse, that is what you will be seeing soon. So thank you for looking at my world and the destruction I have to put in. Like seriously, I've only seen Scar actually do this type of crap. You know, Doc, he does the big old exploding things and to get rid of a lot of stuff, but in all reality, the person on the mine or the Hermitcraft server that does the most grinding is Scar, because he literally does all of it by hand, and just doing this little bit to get this much resources. And I've seen how many chests he gets sometimes. There's a massive amount of resources. He definitely grinds more than Doc. There's no doubt. Doc is more of a technical grinder, but Scar is the true king of all grinders because he has destroyed entire biomes by hand, and it's just absolutely insane. Okay, I guess that's it for the talking portion of this episode, or for this video, or whatever you call it. I'm the Car Bomb, and get out of my car.